beloved, welcome back to the channel. Today we have a bi-weekly reading update, which has not been so bi-weekly as of lately. I do apologize. Been very busy with work, which is kind of surprising given that it is kind of winter in full force here already. Within the matter of like 2 weeks, we just have been right thrown into the throes of winter. Thrown right into winter. Yeah. So I have this massive stack of books here, and you might not believe me, but this is kind of the current reads stack. Obviously, a lot of this is just kind of dipping into from time to time, but we'll talk about this. I have a few book pickups I want to share with you, and then I kind of want to reflect on the past reading year and things that I've kind of been thinking about as a reader and as I, have this channel and everything, and just kind of processing that, kind of what I want to leave behind in 2025 and what I would like to take with me into 2026 as I read. So, without further ado, let's get into it. God bless you. Thank you for joining me. Grab yourself a drink. I'm having a Severed Lime Liquid Death. These things are incredible. They'll get you off pop. And I have a stack of books here. You can get yourself something warm to drink. Let's talk about it. These are kind of listed in the order of like primary, if you will. So first up we have Toni Morrison's The Bluest Eye. I started this a couple weeks ago, put it back on my shelf, and then picked it back up again. I was feeling kind of the need to keep reading it. When initially I was just kind of like feeling it out a little bit, set it aside, came back to it. Sometimes you gotta do that with a book. And I love this. I really appreciate the way that Toni Morrison writes. She writes so beautifully, and I'm already feeling a certain connection with the characters, especially the mother in this story that has been described is hilarious and definitely someone that, you probably have experience with. And yeah, I'm loving this so far. I've been wanting to read Toni Morrison for a long time, and when you hear the kind of greatest authors of like modern America, you cannot have a list that does not include her. And I'm seeing that just incredibly simple, beautiful prose, the way that she writes about kind of like the cityscapes of Ohio, like the town in Ohio that this is set in. You just love it. So yeah, really excited to be reading Bluest Eye. And then next up we have my first like super big book, but I'm just taking it in chunks. We have Don Quixote by Miguel de Cervantes. After I made my last real video, I just kept thinking about this book again. Like I just started calling my name, and I was like, all right, I have to conquer Don Quixote. I have to join on this adventure with my knight errant. Or our knight errant. And so I've been taking this one incredibly slow. It's been about a week and a half. I'm only about 90 pages in. I'm trying to kind of pace myself to read it kind of 2 chapters at a day. I feel like if I just kind of flew through it, I would lose interest. So as a way of kind of trying to just keep it fresh and fun, because I'm having great fun with it so far, I'm just trying to take little sections of it each and every day. So, yeah, that kind of will go into what we'll talk about later. Basically just the idea of like, I need to be better at just not setting out to just completely demolish and finish a book, but rather just take time with it and stuff, and be okay that sometimes it's going to be a little bit longer of a process to get through a book. But yeah, really loving Don Quixote right now. Just so, not sarcastic, although there is definitely sarcasm in it. Satirical. It's very satirical. It's very funny and self-aware, and I'm loving it so far. And I'm excited to hear more of the wisdom that Don has to espouse on me. So there's that one. This kind of is a 2-for-1. This was a recent book pickup, but then I just kind of picked it up anyways. We have goodness gracious. We have Dennis Johnson's Tree of Smoke. I am about 130-ish pages in here so far. I never read anything by Dennis Johnson. William Dozier, Dozier. He's a YouTuber here on YouTube, obviously. Loves Dennis Johnson. And I do like the way this book is written, but I'm kind of I feel like it's a little meandering right now. You're 130 pages into like this is almost like a 700 page book. You would think that something kind of starts picking up in the pace, but it's just a little kind of just odds and ends, like little moments happening. And that's not to say I'm not enjoying it, because I am enjoying it, but as I just keep reading, I'm like, am I really feeling this a lot right now, So I guess I'll keep reading, and if I'm not really feeling it, put it down, come back to it another day. But that is on here. And then next up, we have Stories by William Faulkner. I just started dipping in here today. One of my goals for this year was to read more short stories, and I've not been that great at it. However, it's not up here. It must be down there somewhere. I do have the Nick Adams stories by Ernest Hemingway, who I actually read about half that book prior to starting these bi-weekly reading updates, which is why you haven't heard it. But that is just a collection of short stories. I really do enjoy them. I think the short story is so cool, and I don't know, just sometimes it just goes nowhere, and I think it's accepting that that's okay if it doesn't go anywhere. Faulkner, author I really want to get into, author that is just very, very heavy-handed with the language and the prose and everything. He's a bit daunting and intimidating for me personally. I feel like what better place to start than with some of his short stories. So yeah, dipping into here. And then for the Nativity season, I've been slowly but surely making my way through the life of the Virgin Mary, the Theotokos. Obviously, being the birth mother of Christ, and just kind of knowing her backstory and the story that isn't really espoused in the Bible but has been kept historically throughout the church life. Incredibly interesting, and seeing kind of the parallels between her and kind of the types and shadows within the Old Testament. But then also knowing that Saint Gabriel, Archangel Gabriel, also visited her parents and told them about their child being Mary and stuff like that. So incredibly interesting. Most Holy Theotokos, pray for us. So we have that. And then we have Angel in the Forest by Margaret Young. This book is so beautiful. Margaret Young, the way she writes is just, and enraptures you, but it is very much a book that is I don't think, kind of in the same way of Don Quixote, where it's I don't think I can just sit down and plow through this I tend to do and like to do with books. It's not something I can really just sit down and plow through. I kind of have to take it little bits and pieces at a time. So this one's mildly on the back burner, but we're still chipping away at it. Just really interesting, so cool that this is a nonfiction book, but it's written in the way that it is, where it's very poetic, and plays out super story-like and stuff like that. So really, really cool. And then last up but not least, we have, I haven't read this in a long time, but I want you to know I'm still working through it. Hopefully I can actually, I'd have to finish Bluest Eye first, I feel, before I came back here, but hopefully I can finish this before the year is out. Septology by Young Fosse. The reason I want to finish this before the year is out, or at least be close, is because of my end of the year kind of reading reflection I plan on doing. I just want to have this in my belt so I can, maybe rank it in a proper way than normal. So yeah, again, I think about this book constantly, but it's very, very exhausting sometimes, and I think that's okay. I love it still, and I'm excited to keep reading through it, at least the last part. I'm on A New Name, which is the last of the 3 books that make up this trilogy, which is actually a septology. So yeah, there's that. All right, cool. All right, 2 book pickups for you that I want to share with you. I should have been on a book buying ban months ago now, but I'm trying to just set myself hey, no more book buying till Christmas. I made that rule after I bought these books 2 weeks ago now. So the first one up we have is Duck's Newburyport by Lucy Ellmann. I actually I've heard of this book a few times now. but just never really decided to look into it. But then when I found out that it's very much like septology, where it's a stream of conscious, no periods, it's a single sentence, and it's just kind of ramblings, obviously kind of pulls me in a little bit, because I know like I have the endurance for something like that, and this is over 300 pages longer than septology. But then, you hear it's about a mother in Ohio, and so it's like, oh, it's going to be talking about kind of issues that are closer to home for me, and stuff like that, and reflections about things that are closer to home to me. Hopefully this plays out in a way that's kind of like septology, because what I like about septology is that a lot of it is very much like pieces of life that is being remembered and viewed through our narrator, and it's really interesting. I'd like to make a whole video about septology when I finish it, but it's really interesting because it reads out very much like how our consciousness genuinely remembers things, where certain aspects and things are kind of highlighted and repeated multiple times over ad nauseum, where I hope this kind of plays out in the same type of way. But if it doesn't, it's whatever, it's cool. So yeah, we have Duck Newburyport, just a fat book. There's just, you look at that chunky spine and it stares at you from the bookshelf. But I will probably keep this one on ice for a little bit, being as it's so new and I have so many other 1,000-page books I need to be reading. So we have that one. And then we also have The Morning Star by, it's Karl Ove Knausgaard. Karl Ove Knausgaard. I'm sorry, my Norwegian friends. I know it's not pronounced the way that it's spelled. I don't know how to pronounce it. But yeah, The Morning Star. Obviously, you look into like kind of contemporary literature, like modern like literature, like masterpieces, and you can't look too far without coming across My Struggle, which I do have the entire box set on my Christmas list, which would be really cool to experience, but I was just at the bookstore and I was like, you know what, like I feel like this is an author I'm gonna really enjoy, and then just reading the back of the cover too, it's very interesting and it's very meandering and just kind of stale in a sense, you know what I mean? It's literally says The Morning Star is about life in all its mundanity and drama, the strangeness that permeates our world, and the darkness in us all. And so, yeah, really excited about that one. Again, a book I will have to keep on ice for a little bit. It's kind of a thick one, and I'd like to get through some more things that I have, here before I get into that, because I am terrible at having a lot of these books and then just reading kind of the newest thing I buy. Although that's probably not a unique struggle. It's probably something we all sort of share. So there is both of those. So I wanted to talk to you. I wanted to talk to you kind of about like some thoughts I've been having with my reading, and like kind of things I need to be better at. So I think I started this YouTube channel way too early in my reading career, if you will. And it's not that I regret this channel at all, but what has happened is like sort of subconsciously for me, it has put like a big stress on just reading as much as I can all the time. And I know that like every single booktuber in the world is going to say, hey, like it is better to spend like more time with books than to just plow through a bunch of books. But then they're also like, hey, I read like 127 books last year, and it's like, wow, that is really crazy. But also, it's kind of difficult because there also is the passage of time, and the knowledge that it's like, oh, I don't know exactly how long, I have, to be enjoying these things. So, it's like I want to be always reading something I find valuable and edifying. And I also have a lot of books I know are valuable and edifying that I haven't read yet that I need to get to, So, but that's something I really want to I want to de-stress reading for myself. Now, this is not like something that anyone in like my community has like pressured me or put on me. This is just kind of like a result of being a content creator, I think. I hate using that term, forgive me. I'm not a content creator. I'm a guy who films YouTube videos. And I think it's just like, it's created this expectation for me where it's like, man, I really need to just be constantly working at it. And I think because of that, it is super easy for me to not only fall into slumps, but get overwhelmed. It's kind of like when I have a day off work, you know, there's so much stuff I want to do on a day off of work that I end up doing nothing because I get overwhelmed. And that goes for reading too. You know, so I really want to just be better at allowing myself to pace things out. And that's why I'm trying to do it with Don Quixote. I know I said that, like, I feel like if I just ran through it, it would lose its appeal for me. But it's also a matter of like, hey, this book's going to get read. Like no matter what. And it doesn't matter if I'm reading 100 pages a day or 10 pages a day. And I need to be okay with a pace like that, you know? Obviously, you know, if I'm really, really into it, I can read as much as I want, but just having the expectation of like, I only really need to be reading 2 chapters a day, just to kind of get through it, you know? And if the chapters are really short, maybe add a 3rd chapter, and stuff like that. And that's just a way I want to start approaching reading as it is. You know, another thing I want to do in 2026 is probably not buy any more books for myself. I think after the holiday season, I am just going to just kind of cut it off because I just have I have so much like good literature and good things here that I need to be very content with, and I need to allow myself to read, because it's like you don't just buy books to buy books. However, you know, sometimes, you know, you get books that you aren't necessarily a huge fan of. Like right here, this is a Library of America collection of Raymond Carver's collected stories. I don't even know anything about Raymond Carver, but I know that like he was a great short story writer, you know, and so we have that. But it's also like, how long is this going to sit on my shelf before I actually crack it open? Like you can see it's still in the plastic, you know. And things like that. And I think I've been pretty good at learning when a book is not going to kind of, you know, resonate with me in a sense. So, you know, doing on hauls and donations and just giving away books too. But it is something I think I need to be a lot better at. And it just stinks because there are so many like cool and interesting books out there. And time is so finite. And you never know, like, you know, you're not going to get to everything. And I think that's just something you got to accept, you know. But cool. Okay, that was like kind of the biggest thing. I've just been thinking about that recently, about how like, hey, I need to just read because I love it. And it's a good use of my time. I don't want to read because I don't want to like, the thing is like, I don't want to read because I'm like, oh, you know, I want to have X amount of books done before I make this video, you know, or like, oh, like I need to finish this book so I can talk about it, you know, and stuff like that. But I just want to be a little more relaxed with it and allow myself to just kind of feel like the book speaking to me, you know. That's kind of why my like current reads is so long right now, is because it's like, you know, I need to just be okay at letting what is calling to me call to me, and just being like, hey, like I might read 10 pages of this book like for this week, might not read any the next week, and that's okay. So yeah, all right, cool. Thank you for joining me. I love you. I've been rambling so much. We will be seeing you soon, probably at the end of the year, unless I create a video prior to the end of the year. I guess it depends on how quickly I can finish The Bluest Eye and then Septology, because I think if I were to do a video, just a standalone video about one thing, it'd probably be about Septology, because it is incredible and I love it, and it's cool. So yeah, I love you. God bless. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. It is nearing the time of our dear Savior's birth, and it is such a nice time of year, especially here in the Midwest. We have snow on the ground. It's very cold. I actually had one of my favorite days today. I'll post a picture of a backyard right here. But my favorite like winter days are where it's incredibly cold, but it's sunny and there's snow on the ground. Like those three things, if they come together, it's like the trifecta, you know. It's like biscuits, honey, and butter. It's like you put all three of those things together, and there's nothing better. You know, it's kind of the same thing. You know, same concept. So yeah, favorite day today. Incredibly cold, incredibly beautiful. So all right, I love you. God bless you. We will see you in the next one.